Hey bitch, it's Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to my channel. Now let's get into another episode of Pose. Now, when the show first opened up, we could see Pray Tell at the house home alone. It seems like he's not really feeling well. So later on, we see him go to the doctor's office with Blanca and Nurse Judy. Okay, she's feeling like a lymph node or something up there in his neck, shoulder area. The doctor comes in, wants to speak with him by himself. Pray Tell says no, they're family. So whatever you can say to me, you can say to them. Well, we come to find out he has, what is it, AIDS-induced lymphoma or something like that. So basically, he has cancer in addition to AIDS, I suppose. So the doctor is projecting that he'll only have 6 months to live. So then we see Nurse Judy sitting down and she's frustrated and she's cussing and fussing, but Pray Tell is in a whole nother zone thinking about his life. And Nurse Judy is just like, hey, I think you need to get a second opinion. I'm with Nurse Judy. Ain't nothing wrong with going to get a second opinion just to be sure. He's like, no, he's not really focused on that. He wants to love on all of his people while he's here. He knows he's always been living on borrowed time, so that's his focal thing right now. He wants to make sure the people that he loves knows that he loves them. So he decided to take a trip back home so that he can see his mom. So come to find out, his mom is played by Anna Maria. I think it's Anna Maria Horsford. She played on like A Man like years ago. She's played in some other stuff. She has a long catalog. She's been around for such a long time. We got to see Janet Hubert. I believe she played like an aunt or a family friend to him and the mom. It was so good to see her because ever since she had that sit down with Will Smith, we've been seeing her book opportunities. So this is awesome. I hate that it took her this long, but I'm glad that the doors open and they flooded for her with opportunities. So I'm really happy to see that. And we also got to see Jackie Harry. Okay, I hope I said Jackie Harry. I think I said it right, Jackie Harry, something like that. But she played on Sister. That's one of the roles that I really remember her from, being Tia's mom, amongst other things like 227 honey. Okay, so it was really good because I feel like that was an iconic moment to see all of these greats in this one scene together. That made me very, very happy. So that was good. But his mom was Anna Maria Horsford, I hope that's the right, or Anna Marie Horsford. It's one of the two. But he went to go see her. She was really happy to see him. He's sitting around joking with everybody. And come to find out, he decided to lay the news on them, which is the fact that he has full-blown AIDS now. Mother was completely upset. She had to remove herself from the table. You have the aunt, Jackie Hubert. I can't think of the name of her character, but basically she started trying to pour into him about God and stuff like that. He was just like, listen, I'm not trying to hear all that. I don't need this type of talk right now. What I need from y'all is love. That's what I need from love. And then that's what I need from y'all is love. And then we see Jackie talking to her, telling her, well then why you ain't exhibit the same thing for me? All this stuff you're trying to pour into him, why you ain't give that to me when the church pushed me out for getting a divorce? So they got some little issues and stuff going on in there. So as the mom left the room and then you had Jackie leaving the room, you had the aunt Janet telling him like, hey, listen, come to church with me. I want you to go to church. And he's like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. And she said, well, you'll never guess who the pastor is. And he was like, who? And she was like, well, Vernon Jackson, I believe that's his name. Pastor Vernon Jackson. And he shook and shocked. Because we learned that Vernon was somebody that he actually had took a liking to when they were younger. They had some type of relationship going on, and now to hear that he's a pastor is a bit shocking. So Pray Tell goes to the church. As he's sitting down in the church, he gets to hear some of the members of the choir singing. They're doing their thing. Pastor Vernon comes in, sits behind him, not too far behind him, and they end up engaging in conversation. What we learned is that the two used to mess around a while ago, and that Pastor Vernon was, a homosexual at one point. Pastor Vernon is saying that, nah, I'm not anymore because, I'm married. And he's like, Pray Tell's like, well, who you married to? He said, Ebony. He was like, oh, my best friend, Ebony? You're married to her now? He's like, yeah, and we have like 3 kids. He said, I've denounced that part of my life. I've moved past that. She's helped me get past that. I'm not like that anymore. But of course, Pray Tell not believing him at all. Now, Pray Tell is upset, and Pastor Vernon thinks that he's upset with him. And he was like, no, I'm more so upset with the church turning its back on me. And here it is, you know what I'm saying? You running up behind the church too. Pray Tell also goes on to let him know that he's dying. And Pastor Vernon is like, what do you mean? He said the same. What do you think I mean? Like, it's the same disease that's killing all of us. okay? And Pastor Vernon tried to act like he was dumb and slow. He knew what Pray Tell was saying, okay? Next thing you know, we see him invite Pray Tell over to the house so that he can have dinner and stuff. Pray Tell kind of walks out, but he ends up going eventually. So Pray Tell gets home, has a conversation with his mom about being invited over to Pastor Vernon's house for dinner or whatever. The mom is upset. She's upset with the fact that he has AIDS, and says that she knew he was going to get it once he told her he was gay. We also learned that Pray Tell at a very young age was violated by her husband. His father died at an early age. She had to remarry, and that stepfather violated Pray Tell, and the mother was aware of it because Pray Tell told her, and chances are she knew. You know what I'm saying? She just didn't want to ask. Chances are she really knew what that man was doing to her child, but she kept thinking, I needed help taking care of you. I needed help raising you. And I loved how Pray Tell checked her ass and was like, no, BIT, okay? You chose to have that husband based on how the church was going to see you. Everything you did was for your image and how you thought the church was going to view you. And it's so crazy how so many Christian people or Bible people or whatever are in bondage. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being free, instead of just living their life, instead of having a true relationship with God and not allowing other people to define what that meaning is for you. It's so crazy to me how they are still in bondage and don't know that they're in bondage. You know what I'm saying? In my head, like, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense, because some of these Christians are the ones that have the most secrets, and sit up here and tell people how they should live their life and how they should go about their life. But y'all the ones that have the most secrets and hold on to those secrets based off of this image you think other people are going to think or say about you. That's why you hold on to these secrets that you have. But then the same Bible that you read, even though you don't read it to front and back, you only apply the scriptures that you feel are beneficial for you. You only take out what you want. You only take out a piece of that information, you know, to condemn someone else or to make yourself feel validated in what you got going on in the Bible. And it's crazy because the same Bible that you read, you should also know that God sees all and knows all. So it's like, it don't matter what you try to hide from us, like, you still got to live with that. So you might as well come out being truthful. And most of the time, the secrets you think you got, more than one person already know anyway. So what are you really hiding? You know, so it's just crazy, because I feel like some people to this day still live in bondage to the Bible and trying to follow the Bible and just this and that. And like, I don't know, like, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's crazy. People like to use the Bible to condemn some sins, but let's think about all of the sins that y'all out here committing, okay? Don't use it just for one as if it's not a long list of other things that are going on. But you know, it's foolishness and it's fuckery at its finest, and it is what it is, so we'll go ahead and move on. And the fact that she would ask him, what did you want me to do? He was like, what do you mean what I wanted you to do? If your child is telling you that a man is sexually violating them, or a person is, you're supposed to stop fooling with that person. You're supposed to let that person go. Your child is supposed to mean more to you than that bullshit. Okay, so obviously the mama must have went through something similar, or she got her own demons or something that happened to her as a child, that she felt that shit right there was okay. You know this man is sexually or violating your child, and then said, yeah, he stopped after your son was old enough to push his ass off him. Are you serious? What woman would want to lay in a bed next to a man that's out here sexually touching on motherfucking children, and then your children at that? Are you fucking kidding me? That's some whole shit. Okay, and he's a good one for, like, yeah, he stayed away for 20 years, you know, and then he wanted to correct his wrongs and come back and see his mama. I commend him. You know, I can appreciate the conversation he had later on where he said, you know, he's not a little boy anymore. He's grown up and he's just not at that place. So basically, I guess he's at a place of forgiving his mom for what she's done, because later on we can see where the mom also asked him for forgiveness. She apologizes and she said that she wants to do right this time. She didn't do right. She didn't protect him. She knew she was wrong. She knew what was going on, but this time she doesn't want that. She wants to do better moving forward. So it's like, okay, I guess he can receive that. He's at a place in his life where I kind of feel like he has no choice but to receive that apology as he moves on in his life and he eventually transitions. We get a flashback of Vernon, Pastor Vernon, along with Pray Tell being in the church, ended up kissing in the church. I said, no, they ain't kissing in the church, honey. Okay, and the mama ends up seeing it. She was highly disappointed And of course, she storms off. Next thing you know, we can see Pastor Vernon and Pray Tell along with the wife all at the house with the kids. The pastor is called off because one of the members is slowly passing away. Ebony and Pray Tell are having small talk. Pray Tell is confused as to how she could be with him, understanding that he's a gay man. And she's like, well, he's not. That's his past life or whatever. But if you notice, you know, the ages between our kids, it was like a 5-year period where he absolutely did not touch me at all. And, you know, I just really need help with knowing how to please my man. And then Pray Tell's like, girl, I can't help you on how to please this man, okay? Because no matter what you physically do, he's not that into you, okay? He's using you basically to save his life and his image of how people see him out in the public. But behind all of that, honey, deep down inside, that man is a homosexual. That man is gay. And it ain't nothing that you can do about it. Nothing at all. It don't matter how many babies you have, how many sermons you go to, how much you preach, how much he preach, how much y'all hold hands and wave to the people. Girl, it's not going to work, okay? Because that's not what he wants. And he needs to be honest with himself and stop wasting your time, okay? She wasn't really trying to hear it because she got this whole image or whatever and thinking she's Captain Save 'em. So that's where she's at. He comes home. Vernon comes back to the house. He and Pray Tell go for a walk. We see him and Pray Tell sit down. It was so awkward and so weird for him to kiss Pray Tell and be like, you know, I learned that when you came back, this is what I want. I don't care if you have AIDS. I was there in the beginning. Let me help you with the ending. It doesn't have to be how it's going to end. And I said, look at Pastor Fuckboy. Look at Pastor Fuckboy, because that's all he's giving me. You got a whole family. Pray Tell came in for a few hours and it done changed your whole mind. Yeah, that didn't give me that didn't make sense. You either an F boy for Pray Tell or you're an F boy for your wife. It's one of the two, but all I see is Pastor F boy. And then he talk about when Pray Tell leave, he gonna be right there with him, ready to go. Girl, bye. I said this man is full of shit. Okay, for you to be a whole pastor, you full of it. Next, we can see Aunt Jackie and Pray Tell sitting down. She gives him paperwork because she wants to be his power of attorney so that she can make sure everything happens accordingly for him. Although I can appreciate her wanting to do this because she said that she was aware of what was happening to him when he was younger. She wants to make up for that, you know, in his death. It makes me wonder about this power of attorney. And if we're going to see this as an issue later on before the episode, before the season ends, like, that's awkward. Why would it not be his mom? Why would you want to be the person to make sure everything happens right for him? Why can't it be his mom? So that right there was like a little side-eye situation, but I don't know. I guess we'll just see how everything's going to flow, honey. Finally, we see Pray Tell getting ready to hop on the bus so he can head back. He waited a good while for the pastor. He thought that he saw the pastor, and unfortunately, it was not him. The pastor did not show up, and I knew the pastor wasn't going to show up because he was not about to leave that lady with them 3 kids and just hop on that damn bus and just go on about and live his life. He was not going to do that, okay? What I think he was really trying to do was trying to get in Pray Tell pants, okay? He was trying to get to his cootie twat that night, okay, if Pray Tell would have let him. That's what I think he was trying to get to real quick. Like, give me a quick fix real quick, and then I'm going to go back to my house and live out the rest of my days, okay? That's what I think he wanted from Pray Tell. But I can tell you one thing, he really didn't want no relationship, and Pray Tell ended up learning that. Now, I don't know if the pastor's going to show up at another time, but he did not show up at the bus station when Pray Tell got ready to ride out, okay? And that's all I have for polls. I want you guys to leave your thoughts and comments down below on how you felt about the episode. What are your thoughts about this review? I'm jamithatsme. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram as well as Twitter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.